A High Court hearing this afternoon could determine the fate of more than 150 asylum seekers who left India last month bound for Australia. Late yesterday, the court granted a temporary injunction to stop the asylum seekers being handed over to Sri Lankan authorities. The action came after the government revealed it had handed a group of 41 Sri Lankan asylum seekers over to Sri Lanka during a mid-sea transfer at the weekend. The United Nations Refugee Agency has released a statement saying it's deeply concerned by that move.
The government is now going to have to front up to the court and explain what's going on. That has to be a good thing, regardless of what the High Court may rule or decide upon today in terms of legalities of the case. Forcing the government before the court to explain what is going on is a welcome move.
What I'm focused on is stopping the boats. That is what we are absolutely and constantly focused on, because as long as the boats keep coming, we will keep having deaths at sea. So the most decent, humane and compassionate thing you can do is to stop the boats.
Morning. Look, when it comes to asylum seekers, there are only two options. There's a bad option and a worse option. Now, it's currently before the High Court, and let's see what the High Court says. There are no good options in there. I think everybody accepts that. This is a debate that's been going on now for some years. There are no good options, despite what some would like to suggest.
I just heard the view that there's not too many options. There's a range of options on asylum seekers, and the first one is to treat them with dignity and treat them as human beings. The second option is to look for regional frameworks where we can work with the UNHCR and try and get a better approach on asylum seekers than the one we're taking now.
The High Court hearing that will be held later this afternoon is a very, very important opportunity for our most senior judges to examine exactly what is going on, and in a way to call the Minister and the Department for Immigration to account.
I'm not going to comment on what may or may not be happening on the water, but I do want to assure everyone that what we do on the water is consistent with our legal obligations and consistent with safety at sea.
We do have a view about the importance of A, telling Australians what you're doing, and B, making sure Australia complies with its international obligations.
Bottom line is that over the last 6 years we saw 50,000 people come in a most disorganised, costly and disruptive, and the worst part of it was thousands of people died at sea.
There is an obligation at international law to have a proper process so that the asylum seeker can make their claim, justified or not, and if justified, then of course they have a right to be in Australia as refugees.